thank the Lord for his grace and his mercy and his favor that he's given unto us. Today, I want to talk to you about how extremely important it is to have light in the room before you enter. The title of our study is In God's Light, I Shall See Light. One of the objectives of someone who becomes born again is to learn how to walk in the light that God provides. Throughout the Bible, from the Old Testament to the New, the Lord has over and over again tried to encourage those who would choose to acknowledge him to walk in his light and to walk in the light that he provides. So today, we're going to talk about how extremely important. You're going to see how extremely important it is for us to have light in the room before you enter. Two situations to help ground you in the study that I want you to imagine. The first situation, I want you to imagine that there is a room that you need to enter in order to get something that you need or want inside the room. You gotta go into this room in order to get something that you need or want. The room is like a classroom. I want you to imagine an average classroom with no windows. And as you're in the school, you're walking down the hall, classrooms typically have what is called a peep window, where someone could look in the classroom and see what's going on without disturbing the class. Imagine the room is a classroom like that, and you're walking down the hall toward the door, because there's something in the room that you need or want. I just want you to imagine that. Now, when you look through the peephole, you get as you approach the room, you can see the peephole, but you can hardly see anything through the peephole. As you're walking up to the room, that door, you can hardly see anything through that peephole at all. It's basically pitch dark. So in the first scenario, as you walk up to that room, that door, you discover that there is no light switch for the room. But still what you want or need is in that room. Normally you're able to look at the peephole and get some idea about some things that are in the room, but you can't see anything. Practically nothing. But you know that what you want or what you need is in that room. So you got to go into the room. So now you grab the doorknob and you go into this room. You open the door and you go into this room. And when the door is closed, it's dark in the room, pitch dark in the room. You still have to locate what you need or what you want. Now I want you to imagine yourself trying to navigate or trying to get to what you need or want in that room. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions about your experience. What would happen as you move around in that room? And you know that, what do you think would happen as you move around in that room?
You would hit stuff.
You're going to hit stuff, aren't you? Are you intending to hit that stuff? No. And when you hit stuff, does it surprise you? How does it make you feel if you're hitting stuff?
Yeah.
Shocked? Surprised?
Sometimes you don't just see that you fall over it.
You may fall over something. You might trip because you don't know what's in there. So there's a possibility you could trip and fall over something, lose your balance. Isn't that right?
Amen.
And this is en route to trying to get what you want or need. So could it take a short amount of time to get what you want to need out of the room? It could, but more than likely it'll probably take what?
Long.
And why would it take a longer time?
In dark.
It's dark. And also you don't what?
You can't see.
You can't see, so you don't know what's in the room.
Amen.
And because you don't know what's in the room, you don't know where what you need or want is in where.
Yeah, located in the room, right?
And you don't know what's in between you and what you need or want.
Man.
If you continue to hit things before you get to what you need or want, would that make you feel hopeful or hopeless?
Hopeless.
So hope begins to decrease the longer it takes.
Amen.
Okay. All right, now, I'm going to have you to rewind, and for scenario 2, imagine yourself coming down the hall to that same room. When you see the door, it's the same situation. It has a peep window, no windows, has a lot. What you want to need is in the room. You don't know where it is in the room, but it's in the room. But the difference this time is that there is a light. There's a light switch. And when you walk into the room, you choose to turn on the light switch. And now you're in the room with the light switch on and the light on. What happens as you move around the room?
Yeah,
You would begin to look for the item that you went in there for.
Say it again.
I said you, as a person, you would begin to look for whatever you went in the room for.
You will begin to look
where it is.
for what you wanted or what you need. Would you be walking around looking for it? Or would you just be able to stand there and look for it?
You're walking around.
So because you have light and you can see what's in the room, it allows you to maybe even not even have to move. But you can just look, stand there and look, can't you?
Yeah.
And then what you can do?
Once you find it, then you go get it.
You can go directly to it, can't you?
Right.
How much time would it take you to obtain what you want and what you need in that scenario?
Sort of different.
It would be a short amount of time, wouldn't it? And why would it be a short amount of time?
But you can see the light.
The light enables you to what?
See.
See. And because the light enables you to see, you were able to chart a plan that enabled you to go directly to what you wanted or what you need and achieve success in a shorter amount of time. Isn't that right?
Amen.
Which of these imagined experiences would you prefer to be a reality for yourself? The dark room or the light room? Which situation do you prefer to go through?
Light room.
The light room. Most people would prefer the light room.
Amen.
But I'm here today to tell you is that the dark room happens more than the light room happens. When I walk into a room that has a light on, I can see what's in the room clearly. I can see the colors of what's in the room. I can see what I should focus on and what I don't have to focus on. When I go to places in the room based on where the light has already gone, because remember, when I turn the light on, light goes to every part of the what?
Room.
It goes to every part of the room. When I turn the light on, the light goes before me, and it goes to every part of the room before I get there. That's the value of the light. The light covers the room, and it gives me sight before I get it. And so because of that sight, because the light goes before me, I can see all parts of the room clearly. And when I can see all parts of the room clearly, unlike the dark room situation when you can't see anything in the room at all, you're in the room, but you can't see anything in the room at all. In the dark situation, my confidence won't be as high because I can't see, because I'm lacking that assistance. I'm lacking that about what's in the room. There could be a room full of tacks, and I could step on some, or a room full of nails, or glass on the floor, or sharp objects in the room. Because it's so dark, I can't see. So the risk could be much higher. But in the case of the light, when the light goes before me, the light allows me to see clearly. My confidence in myself and my abilities to succeed goes up. I can see more, I can do more, I can accomplish more, I can become more. All because I followed the light in that room. We might not realize it, but when we walk into a room and we turn a light on, what we are doing is following the light. The light goes before us. Then we go into the room and navigate to what it is that we are seeking. And that's a bit of truth that's been happening since God created man. The light goes before us and paves the way. Then we can choose to walk a specific path in order to achieve success. When you turn a light on before you go into a room, before you go into that room, you have a goal in mind. When you get to the door, you turn the light on as you walk into the room so that you can see. But the light goes before you, and the light is on all surfaces in the room, giving you insight and visibility. So then what you then can choose to use, you choose to turn the light on, and then you can choose to navigate a specific path that allows you to go to what you want or what you need. And when you do that, you feel good about yourself because you quickly accomplished your goal. You were able to obtain what you needed or wanted. The Lord is saying the same thing for us today. He wants us to understand the same thing applies to us today. And it always has applied to us because of His grace. It happened from the beginning, and it will continue to happen until the Lord returns. And that is the light. That light is of God is going to go before us. We must choose to walk in that light. We must choose to acknowledge that light that God provides, that shines on every surface, that gives us clarity about what's in the room, and then choose, based on what that light does, choose to walk in that light, create a plan based on that light, so that we might achieve what we want and what we need. If we take God up on His offer, the Lord wants us to have a light room experience in our life. Throughout our life, He wants us to have a light room experience. He wants us to know consciously that this light room experience is what's helping us learn how to walk in the light that He provides. Just like when we walk into our physical rooms, and many of you, as of this point in your day, have done this, that you have walked into a room, and before you walked into the room, you turned on a light. That light didn't stay at the door. That light went before you in the room, putting light on every surface, everything that was in that room. And when the light shined on everything in that room, it allowed you to understand how your goal or what your need relates to that light in that room. And you are able then to chart a specific path, because now you have a level of clarity that you didn't have before. You have a level of understanding that you did not have before. So you can, through a new lens, you're able to go directly to try to plan and effort to go directly towards your goal, what you want and what you need to be successful. If you ever said, oh, let me go back and get mine, if you've ever done that before and you went back and you had to turn on a light in order to be able to get whatever you went back for, you did the same thing that I just described. You had to walk in the light, in the path that the light charted, in order for you to achieve that success. That's the blessing or grace that God offers to us if we want to live a life in which we achieve the prosperity that He has given to us by grace. But we have to learn to walk in God's light. Because in God's light is not optional. In God's light, we shall see light.
Amen.
Oh, praise be to God, from whom all blessings flow. It is our prayer at Clay Family Ministries that your life has been increased with the increase of God through this study. We appreciate and are thankful for your fellowship during this life skills study segment.